Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. Just 2 weeks after it issued a new rankings update, the Hapless Wbc has gone back and reissued another one. And there's quite a weird and twisted web to this whole thing because they didn't put the right one up at the start of the month. And so what happened, and I'll just step through this for context, the WBC met in October. This is sort of October 24th, 25th, 26th. They had a convention. It was in Mexico, their annual convention. The ratings committee met. It made some decisions about the top 15, etc. And a number of things that came out of that convention weren't reflected in the update which came out at the start of November. Things like Alexander Usyk in his position, where Oscar Rivas was going to be positioned in the rankings and Kubrat Pulev jumping down. And the rankings update from the start of the month, it only had a couple of changes. It didn't have what had been reported out of the convention, which I noted in that video was unusual, that there were a couple of things that apparently had happened but weren't reflected. But there were a couple of things like Daniel Dubois slipping into the WBC top 15 and Alexander Usyk inserting his way into the WBC top 15. That had actually happened. But the new rankings, and see here on screen, there are changes, and this situation could have been avoided, because why would the WBC have its convention, make some decisions, and then go up and put the wrong rankings update, and then have to 2 weeks later change it again? Why didn't they just put the decisions of the convention as the new update? Because that seems like the logical thing to do. But instead, they trip over their own feet, issue a rankings update which was already out of date given the decisions they'd made at the convention. So the whole thing is bizarre and it beggars belief, and another facepalm from the WBC. But at this point, are we surprised? I don't think anyone really is. But the new top 15, there is some movement based on the convention changes, and we will go through that. But at number one, and this was confirmed at the convention, Dillian Whyte is the number one contender. Tyson Fury holds firm at number two. Luis Ortiz, he is at number three. He's got his title shot with Deontay Wilder coming up. At number four, you have Alexander Usyk. So he'd previously, in the other update from the start of the month, been at number 5. But he's moved up one spot to number 4. And Oscar Rivas, he's at number 5. And it's quite interesting, this situation, because he was at the convention with his promoter, Yvonne Michel, making a case. And Yvonne Michel said, look, my guy should be at number 1 over what happened with the Dillian Whyte situation, in particular, the stuff with the gloves controversy, where Whyte wore some gloves that weren't signed off, and Rivas's team never got to examine them. And the argument from Yvonne Michel was he should be at the top. So in the earlier update from this month, the incorrect one, Rivas was still at 9. But per the convention, he is bumped up to number 5, so up 4 spots. So what that kind of actually tells us, despite the loss, Rivas is up in the rankings. So inadvertently, they are saying that something went on that shouldn't have gone on, because they've rewarded Oscar Rivas, who did lose that fight. And the whole other situation with Whyte and his UCAN situation, well, we'll see where that goes. But Rivas, a winner in this rankings update, the correct rankings update. Who knows why the WBC did a fresh update earlier this month with the wrong information, especially when their convention had confirmed the top 15. And Alexander Povetkin, he's at number 6. We know he's going to be fighting Michael Hunter in December. Adam Kovnatsky, he also drops down a place. He was previously at number 6. Joseph Parker is down 1 spot as well to number 8. Joe Joyce, he is actually up 1 spot to number 9. He takes over from where Rivas was. And Derek Chisora is at number 10. In the earlier update, and I commented in this in my previous video, they had dropped Chisora down 3 places, but he's been corrected up 3 places in this latest update by the WBC. Filip Hrgovic, he holds firm at number 11. Kubrat Pulev is a loser in these rankings. There was a decision made at the ratings committee at the convention that he should drop down out of the top 10. No real context behind that, but he's at number 12 here in these rankings. Ajit Kabayel, he is down 1 place to 13. Michael Hunter firm at 14. And Daniel Dubois has stayed at 15. He entered just recently into the top 15. So there is the fresh and updated WBC heavyweight rankings, which had to be reissued. And who knows why they did what they did in terms of issuing the other update, which was incorrect and didn't reflect reality of the convention of just a few days before that. So, yeah, I'll wrap it up there. But WBC falling over itself again, no surprise. But what do you make of this? Oscar Rivas up 4 places to number 5. Alexander Usyk, number 4. Kubrat Pulev drops down out of the top 10. Drop a comment, loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.